Well, it was a good game for college lacrosse. It was definitely up and down, and certainly a very big win for us. I thought that Virginia came in very well prepared, played very well, especially in the first half. And I thought their goalie stepped up in the second quarter. We had a couple point-blank shots. He kicked two out and got one to the offside that I don't know how he got to, or else I think the score was 8-4 at that time. So my hat's off to him, especially in that second period. And really in the face-offs, I know Benny kind of a warrior out there after last week not going and then getting after it today. And I thought Virginia did a great job with their wings, putting the ball back down the ground and coming up with some loose balls. And it's not often you can win a game by one goal having the ground ball discrepancy like we did in this game. So my hat's off to them. I thought they played really hard. But I thought our guys played hard the whole way, especially in the second half, being down like we were down. To be able to pick away at it and get back into it and then win it at the end is a great win for Syracuse today. And I'm proud of our guys for the way they played going down the stretch.
Coach, this is your third straight game, getting down in the first half, coming back in the second half. What has keyed that run, and do you think it's sustainable to play that way?
We've been playing that way. I don't want to play that way. I want to get off to a better start. Again, I thought we had some opportunities in that second period where we could have put a few back up there and made it a lot closer going in at halftime, but I credit their goalie. And I didn't think we shot great, especially in the first half. We knew we were going to get fast breaks, just like Virginia got fast breaks, and we didn't capitalize on some of those, and a little disappointed in that, but we kept shooting, and we were able to put 14 when it was all said and done. And, when you have, you're in the ACC and you have 4 ACC games, we've just won 25% of them. So it was a good win for us, and hopefully it's going to be a good win for us come tournament time.
Serge, can you take us through the game winner and how that all played out?
We drew up a play, coming out of the timeout, and got the ball around like we wanted to, eat a little bit of clock. And, when I got the ball, I looked over, and they were shutting everyone and kind of making me take the matchup they liked. So I knew my team needed me to make a play, and I just, I dodged to the middle and kind of zigzag coming back and forth. Just try to get a step on my guy and make sure if I'm going to shoot the ball, it's a quality shot.
And Coach, Matt Lane was obviously a lot more involved in the offense today. Do you think it was him being more aggressive, or do you think he was just, the defense leaving him open?
Well, we knew that, Matt and I had talked after the last game that, he'd be getting a shorty, especially if, Mariano's bumped up into the midfield at times, and that, that person really has to make something happen. And I think he understood that going into the game today, and I thought he rose to the occasion, and he knew what had to happen, and he made it happen today. He made some really good looks, even off the dodges. He forced them to slide based on where he was getting in relationship to the goal, and made some very good looks. So not only did he dodge to be a threat, he made some good looks, and I don't know how many assists he had, but some big goals he assisted on.
Sergio, 3 straight games with last second or near last second shots. Is that just the way it's going to be for this team? They're fun to watch, obviously, because you're playing in them a little bit hard, hard stopping. What's the feeling like? What's it like running through those games?
I think, like Coach Desko said, obviously it's not what we want to be doing, getting into these nail biters here coming down the stretch. We probably like to get a lead early and control the game, but you got to adapt and overcome, and it's something that we've been preaching all fall to the guys and all spring, and just having the relentless effort as a team. So we want to win, and it's important to us, and we work hard. So we make sure we're pulling out these games as best we can.
Matt, you had only a goal and assist for the first 3 games and then broke out for today. What was going right for you?
I think the coaches did a really good job preparing us for what Virginia's defense was going to look like. So all week we really had a good idea of the shots we were going to generate and the positions that we were going to be in. And I think that we were just really ready, everyone as a team, not just myself, to take the shots that they were giving us. And like I said, we were practicing all week. So I just think I just buried the shots that we were trying to get.
Nate, just your thoughts on the ground ball differential. Obviously, they're a very hustling team, and as Coach said, it's unusual to win a game when you lose a ground ball battle like that. What did you see out there in that department?
Yeah, you say that we lost ground balls, we won the game. We've been preaching ground balls win games all year. I guess we've been practicing ground balls, so I guess we just got to practice them more. Yeah.
put off that for John. Can you maybe explain a little bit the ground ball discrepancy, how you've been able to sort of overcome that, and in the first place, why it's been such a differential this year?
Well, I think, teams like Army, you almost expect them to win the ground ball. I know they start every practice with very competitive ground balls, and as a coaching staff, we had talked about the preparation that we had for Army, and didn't feel that we did a good job getting into the ground balls like we should have. And last week we did competitive ground balls pretty much every day. And maybe it didn't show on the stat today. And some of them, it feels like in a couple of these games, the ball's just bouncing out to space, to our opponent's space. And a couple of times we just felt snake bit that when the ball popped out, we weren't, it was to their benefit where the ball was going. They had already had people there. And so we're going to keep working on it. We're going to keep getting better at it. And I think you'll see us improve as the season goes on.
And John, going back to Sergio's game winner, he had 5 points today. What do you think of his play, and what did you think of the last second goal?
Well, Sergio's been a little bit banged up and hasn't been able to practice much during the week. And this week we had almost a full week of practice out of him. And I think next week, if we can get a whole week out of him, it's hard to go out after not having some good runs during the week and play game day. That's a lot to ask of him, and I think today he's just getting better and better, and he looked pretty good today. So hopefully we're good to go next week.
What did you see from the game winner? What did you see out of him? The whole how it all unfolded.
Well, I think that he saw that what Virginia was doing. They were shutting off their short sticks. Whoever they were covering with their short sticks, they weren't letting get the ball. And we wanted to take a little bit of time off the clock just in case there was a turnover. That we didn't want to leave Virginia a lot of time to have an offensive set. And I think when he saw that they were being shut off, he knew that he had to make something happen, and he made a nice dodge and a nice shot, and it paid off for us.
Coach, you mentioned this a little bit earlier. You've already won 25% of your ACC games, but how important was this comeback when looking forward down the line of your ACC schedule?
Well, every ACC game's important. Today every game's important. But if you're thinking about the ACC tournament, then you want to get your wins up front. You want to have pressure be put on the other team. So to get one, especially this one's at home, and we'll have 2 on the road and 2 home. So it's important to get one here. And now we just need to keep getting better as a group.
Coach, what's it mean for the sport of lacrosse that SU Virginia, kind of every year, no matter what, always kind of lives up and is a game that all fans get excited about?
Well, I think it's the style that both teams have played over the years, and with Lars, I mean, it's it was very fast a year ago with Dom Starge's team, and I think with Lars it's even a faster pace, and I think it's just going to continue. I talked to a coach this morning, and he wished me good luck. I told him I was putting my track shoes on for the game. That it's going to be a fun one for the fans to watch, and I don't see any reason that's going to change going in the future.